Hello, class. In this presentation video, I'm going to be going over a list of hazardous materials that can't be disposed of in our municipal waste containers, the hazards that are associated with them, where and how they should be properly disposed. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so first on the list, we have car batteries. So, these are going to be the batteries that you find in cars, in motorcycles, in RVs. And the reason why you don't want to dispose of these in the trash cans is because most of these batteries are going to have lead in them. They're going to be lead acid based. And lead, that's obviously something that's harmful to the environment if the battery was to leak and spill. And also, when you place these batteries into a landfill, over time the batteries break down, which releases the lead into the environment, which is not something that you want. So, how do you properly dispose of these batteries? Well, most states ban disposal. So, what you can do is go to an auto service center like O'Reilly's or AutoZone and exchange your old one for a new battery. Or you could also sell it to a salvage yard. Okay, next is cathode ray tube TVs or monitors. So these refer to the old TVs, the old boxy TVs that we all used to have back in the day. Don't we don't have them anymore? They're not being produced anymore. Some of us might still have them in our homes, but for the most part, they're just not a thing anymore. Now, the reason why you don't want to dispose these is these have several problems in them. So the first is they have capacitors which store electricity in them, and the capacity can be pretty high. So that's one reason you don't want to throw them in in the trash can. The second reason is because the actual glass inside of the TV is stored under a vacuum, like a high pressure vacuum. So if the glass shatters, it triggers like a huge explosion effect, which is also not something that you want. And last but not least, these TVs have lead and they have lead, and that was done to reduce any sort of radiation that would be produced by the image being created on the screen. So with all of these problems, how do we dispose of them? Well, what you can do is take these old TVs to an e-waste recycling center, um, or use a special electronics pickup service, or you could also donate it to a pawn shop or a thrift store. Okay, so next up we also have hazardous chemicals. This includes any things like oil-based paints, lawn chemicals, cleaning products, pesticides, just anything that you could imagine that would be like having that would have chemicals in it or have anything that you wouldn't want to put in your body. Uh, these can pose dangers to the environment when they are thrown away. So anything that has the words warning or hazardous, toxic, flammable on or corrosive on the labels, what means that you should not throw them in the garbage can. So what you can do instead is you could take these hazardous items, this waste, to a hazardous waste specific disposal facility. And also, most of the products that are hazardous and should not be thrown into the trash can, they should have instructions for proper disposal on the back. So, if possible, refer to those instructions. If there is no instruction listed there, simply research the product, and you should be able to find instructions on how to properly dispose of them on the internet. And so the last material that we're going to talk about is computers, phones, electronics. This can include this could also include DVD players and video game consoles. And the reason why you do not want to dispose of these in trash cans is because they can often contain materials that can be hazardous to land and water, including lead and heavy metals. And many states ban most electronics from uh, recycling as well because, as mentioned, the metals can be recaptured through recycling. Additionally, some electronics may have capacitors in them which store electricity. So, Instead of dumping them in the trash can, you can properly dispose of them by taking your electronics to a licensed electronics recycler, or there are often public e waste collection events, and you can dispose of them there. Additionally, you could also refer to instructions on how to dispose of your specific electronic by looking up the product online. All right, and that wraps it up for the presentation. Thank you for watching, and yeah.